Friday. Do you know where your IT pros are? We don't. It's Patch and Switch. And now, two guys who couldn't make it as sports statisticians, but you trust their binary countdown clock. Here they are, Patch and Switch.
I wouldn't trust the countdown clock.
I was counting in binary the other day.
1 0 1 1 1 0
1 0 1 1 1 0 0 1 1. Hacha!
Boy, I bet Rick would be great if he unmuted.
I'm not muted. What are you talking about? Hello?
He's there.
Hello?
No, you're there. We hear you.
You're there now.
Oh,
Are we having audio issues? Shocking.
No. We had unmute issues.
it's supposed to automatically unmute you when it adds you back into the scene, does it not?
No, not yet. Not in this thing. This thing that we're in.
Not this thing?
No.
Makes no sense. Maybe you should file a bug. Let's put this in. Let's put
This is it's why I'm always like, sometimes you hear the announcer, sometimes you don't. Hey, another random IT guy says, happy time zone, everyone. That's a really good greeting.
Very safe.
Happy bracket, insert time zone here, close bracket.
Yeah, do some kind of squiggly variable reference. That could work.
Saw him last weekend. It was good to see another random IT guy and his whole fam as they were hanging out at Disneyland. We hung out for that. I'll tell you what though, the kids, they enjoy their popcorn.
What are you talking about?
Well, because when you get it, what's called the magic key, which is the season pass, they offer certain discounts, and one is a popcorn bucket. You buy the popcorn bucket one time, and then the refills are like $1.380.
Okay.
And they would literally get the refills, and it was like piranha, just like and popcorn flying up everywhere. And then Bill would have to go stand in line.
The popcorn cloud froths up.
Yeah, exactly. And then he'd have to go stand in line again to get another refill, and yeah,
craziness.
Yeah. And then I got away, and then everything was fine.
Okay.
Jan is here. Hello, Jan. Ledwig is checking in from San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Oh, very nice.
Suave.
Must be enjoying that retirement, traveling.
He says it is sunny and warm.
He no longer has to worry about user problems, about virtualization, licensing fees, support tickets. I bet you he misses filing support tickets at this point.
Yep, correct. You are correct.
Yeah, or logging into Jira to be able to see what's going on with tickets that are assigned to him. But he has,
however, moved on to worrying about Southwest airline flights, I believe.
Was he like a level 4 support?
I think he was like level 20.
Level 10. Ledwig, IT boss.
He has plus 10 to closing tickets.
You see one of those 2D or these 2D block character 8-bit animated bosses that you have to fight, and it's Ledwig wearing a Hawaiian shirt with the flaming tiki cup in one hand, and I don't know what's his other weapon in his other hand. He needs something else besides the tiki cup.
I don't know.
A network cable in the other.
I have to admit, I saw a cartoon the other day, and it was someone, it was a Dungeons and Dragons thing, and guys, I'm going to lean down and pet the dog. Well, roll for whatever. Rolled a natural 1. You slap the dog.
Oops.
We should probably say hello and goodbye to Aspen Forster.
Yeah, I saw that.
He came in and then he left.
He's like, so gotta check in. My boss is calling.
Sure. Well, we appreciate it. The Verister Brits is here today.
That's a shocker.
We enjoy having the resident Essex girl in the house.
Rumor has it.
Oh, there's rumors.
She has us on a secondary monitor with the volume turned off externally, but she wears an earbud. So it looks like she's not paying attention to us.
Yeah.
Secretly,
Secretly, she is. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That works.
The
That
rumor.
works.
That's the
Rumor. It's all rumor. Mr. Kuzer is here. Time for some good old family fun. Well, had you joined us earlier in the pre-show, which there's a reason this isn't streamed.
Yeah, there's
It
a
was
reason the pre-show
definitely
is
not family friendly.
Yeah.
Let's see. We did say hello to Jan. Another random IT guy says we'll be getting them more popcorn again tomorrow. I will not be. I'm taking a break. I am not going to Disneyland until March 7th.
A long break.
Is Disneyland near San Jose?
No,
It's not.
different part of California.
Is it? Oh.
San Jose would be the northern part of California, my friend. Disneyland is in the southern part of California.
What is it, a
many
4-hour
would say,
drive?
Though, it isn't in Northern California. It's in the Bay Area because Northern California is way different than the Bay Area.
Okay, the Bay Area then.
Because you could carve California up into 3 different states, I think, couldn't you? They were talking about that at one point in time.
Probably.
So basically, how far is Disney from San Jose then?
If only there was
Do
a
you not
service
know
we
the
could
way to
use.
San Jose?
Do you know the way to San Jose? How long to drive to Disneyland?
What's going on here? What's going on?
I'm going to use Copilot to get the answer. 6 hours and 7 minutes currently.
Oh wow!
Oh, so it's right next door.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
like those suburbs of each other in Texas between
Yes.
Houston, Dallas and Austin.
That's correct. Yes. Yes. Houston is a suburb of Dallas. Yes.
Yeah.
Or Ottawa, Toronto.
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
Spokane and Seattle.
You know, when you were talking about the 8-bit boss of Scott Ledwig,
Yeah.
apparently absolutely that's describing their work this week, trying to defeat several
Several bosses.
of those. Well, apparently they're all N-level bosses, so they're not even mid-tier.
Oh, okay.
Ledwig says lunch has arrived, so he needs to drop off.
Yeah.
This is apparently what happens. Lunch has arrived. I mean,
Where's
there you
mine?
go.
We'll see it soon enough on Instagram and Facebook.
Not wrong. The fairest of Brits apparently says you're loud and clear and blasting out in the home office today.
Nice.
So the rumor that you heard, not true. Not true. So we've said hello to everybody, at least those. Vizio MVP, who says, I am from Essex.
Yeah, how could you miss Vizio?
Is there a Canadian Essex?
Sussex in New Brunswick.
Is that the same?
Um,
Is that a neighborhood of Toronto?
It's a neighborhood of St. John, really, but it's about an hour outside of St. John. It's got the larger
right next to
airport. It's got the larger airport. Sussex has got a larger airport than St. John does. And
By larger airport, it means there's 2 gates instead of 1.
correct.
Okay.
Correct.
With
And
jetways and not
it's-
stairs.
It's well known for a particular stretch of highway that as you drive into it, there is a grass hill on the left-hand side, and there is a 100-foot tall monument of a dairy cow because Sussex Dairy is there, which is one of the larger milk dairies in New Brunswick. So yeah, it's a well-known spot. It's very, very popular. Well known because people drive through it to get someplace else, basically.
Fair enough.
And that concludes our Canadian geography segment.
Chaos 13 says there's Essex County in Canada, Ontario. I know that based on the Jeff Lemire graphic novels. There you go. Is that one of those fancy heating up mugs that you have there?
So the good thing is my son doesn't watch this podcast because this is actually his Ember cup. So yes, it is one of the fancy heating up ones because I left my black Ember cup off of the charger last night. So it's just a regular cup, which doesn't work like the Ember cup does. So I took his. Don't tell
So
him.
you're not using a Stanley?
No, I don't use Stanley's.
How many
Actually-
Stanleys are in your house?
Oh, I don't even want to know that. We have a shelf of unused Stanleys inside the garage. There are so many Stanleys, we actually have them laying. It's a special shelf that I purchased that allows you to lay the Stanleys down flat and stack them like logs and lumber on top of each other.
Wow.
We have Stanley's straw little cloudy things that sit on top of the straw.
Yeah.
Because one of the people that is a owner of said Stanley saw a TikTok video of a bee coming out of a straw, and the person getting stung, and therefore now needs to have a straw topper.
There you go. You must have your straw protection.
Yeah. So I had no idea just how deep the cult of Stanley was in this house
Until you came home and you had to get a shelf just to house them all.
Yeah.
Mr. Kuzer says 6 hours from what's that? About 30 miles. Friday traffic in the evening takes about an hour for 5 miles these days. Not wrong, but I do believe it is 366 miles ish.
300
roundabout between San Jose and Disneyland ish. Everything here. It's funny. The friends who have been visiting, on occasion now down here in the Vegases and everything. How long is it going to take to get there? Oh, about 20 minutes. How long is it going to take there? Oh, about 20 minutes. So I can get to the strip in about 20 minutes. Oh, okay. Once we get to the strip, how long will it take to get to, whatever place we're going? Oh, about 20 minutes.
It's all 1/3 increments of an hour.
Pretty much. Yeah. It's about 20 minutes. Well, I can get to most places in the city in about 20 minutes, but the strip, once you get down there, all bets are off. Like there's the whole, well, let's see, we could get to the Venetian parking garage, but only if U2 is not playing at the Sphere in about 10 minutes. If U2 is playing in the Sphere, it's about 45.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Mr. Kuzer said, just learned the sadness and surprise of Stanley myself. There's sadness with Stanleys.
Yeah, the price.
Another random IT guy says, you do not count the number of Stanleys in the house unless you want to sleep on the couch.
Yeah, very much so.
I thought you had to play the Stanley Parable before you could buy a Stanley Cup.
It's a
I hadn't gotten one yet.
It's a matter of just support the craziness and just let it happen. Let it be.
So when one gets a Stanley, does Gary Bettman come out and give it to you and everybody boos?
I know you're not allowed to touch the Stanley until it's been given to you. You have to
Is
earn
that what
it.
we're talking about?
About?
A boot. I am curious.
the only
Mom,
Stanley in
speaking
my
of
house.
WoW, saw you two last Saturday. Again, WoW. Yeah, I hear it's a great show. Here's my issue. I like you two, the great band. The problem is the majority of that show is the one album that I really dislike the most. I am not a fan of Octoon Baby. So,
Bless you.
A lot of storytelling. A lot of storytelling. A lot of.
but it's a great show.
The multimedias.
Yeah, it's a great show. I have heard complaints of they don't use the Sphere enough in the show.
Oh yeah. So what I'm interested to see is, I want a tech breakdown of what system is actually running all those screens. Haven't seen that yet.
I haven't seen that yet either.
And also, I understand starting this summer, maybe spring, they're allowing other bands to come in and do stuff for short runs inside of there as well.
They have booked other bands, yes.
And so in order to be successful, you really have to have a crack-ass, really good design team to be able to leverage all of that screen stuff to make it immersive. Otherwise, it just kind of would look weird, I would think.
I think I heard you two spent 4 or 5 months getting everything ready. Speaking of interesting design team things, I saw a thing on the social medias yesterday of the team that created the graphics that were displayed on all of the big jumbotron screens inside of Allegiant Stadium for the Superb Owl.
Oh yeah.
That took them about 4 weeks to get all of the designs done. And the biggest challenge is they basically had to do I think 4 or 6 teams because of the amount of time it took. They had to have 4 to 6 teams worth of
Just in case.
designs done.
Just in case. It's like the heavily guarded U-Haul trucks that haul away the losing team's merch.
Yes, exactly.
Disposed of. Like
yes. Exactly. But it was pretty cool. Because they designed everything to kind of look like the old school Vegas flashing, light bulb signs that were everywhere. But they said their biggest challenge was having less than a week actually on site to get everything kind of dialed in, because they did all the designs early on, but then they had to do tweaks and changes because the ones on the scoreboard are a little bit different. And yeah. I am curious. Mom says, I am the exact opposite. That is my number 1 album all time. Octoon Baby. Interesting. Okay. Find that to be the weakest U2 album in my opinion. But it's, there's just opinions. It's all good. Ooh, speaking of 80s artists, I bought tickets for OMD. They're doing a tour in the summer.
I saw that the Zoo is actually having the Violent Femmes come.
Do. I had to buy tickets in February for a September show. Is this normal?
Yeah. I'd have
8 months ahead?
I'd have to say so with the way things work these days.
Yeah. All right. Hey, we should start the show.
one more ridiculous concert thing. Although Ludwig isn't here, he's having lunch. He's probably still listening to us though, but we'll see. One of his favorite artists, and one of my favorite artists as well, Alan Doyle. I'm sure you have no clue who Alan Doyle is.
Great Big C.
Great Big C. The other Canadian freshwater Newfie said something in the background. So Alan Doyle is on tour, and he has a stop in Washington, up in Edmonds at the Media Center. And I'm like, oh, they announced it. As soon as it was announced, I went and go buy a ticket, and I can't buy a ticket. They're basically sold out. So then
don't you have to I don't think they actually take money. I believe you have to trade for tickets, right?
No. You have to apply for a fishing license first. Then there's only so many fishing licenses. And once you get the fishing license, then you're allowed to go into a pool, well, really the ocean, to be able to go and to get a ticket. But anyway, the tickets were sold out. And then, I mentioned it to my significant other the other day, Kelly, and she's like, well, why don't you just buy them on aftermarket? I'm like, oh yeah, I'll take a look. So I go on to StubHub or something like that. And I'm like, type in Alan, and I'm waiting. Doesn't autocomplete. It doesn't even know who this person is. Finally, it comes back with the proper name. I go and I select Alan Doyle. And then I choose the Edmonds, because it's in Edmonds, Washington.
In Edmonds.
There is no tickets available. No one's selling them. And then I go back to the site. There is 1 ticket left. It is a companion seat. For an ADA section.
Yeah.
One ticket left in the entire venue, and it's a companion seat off to the left-hand side.
You will not get your evening of sea shanties, my friend.
I will not get my evening of sea shanties, unfortunately. So, pour one out for Mr. Alan Doyle. We probably should start the show, though.
Yeah, we probably should.
It is like 20 minutes later.
Yeah, it's 20 minutes in. Hey, if you're new here, hi.
I'm Joey. He's Rick. And you're still here 20 minutes after the show started. Congratulations. You have passed the test.
This show has segments, if you can believe it. We actually do talk about things. And the first segment of the program is From the Trenches, which is the stuff that we're doing in our day job. And of course, if you are in chat, which you can do when we are live, and you go to twitch.tv/patchandswitch, you can also give us your insights into the things that have been going on, as we've learned that some people are fighting evil 8-bit bosses of IT. Yep. But what have you had going on, my friend?
I'm going to actually call Wired Canuck on camera.
Wait, what? You're using a lifeline from the trenches?
I'm using a lifeline. I'm calling a friend. I know he's still here, but he's not coming on camera. So maybe he's...
I'm letting Jared drive.
You're asking
Jared's sleeping, so we can hear him, but we won't see him.
There we go. What have you
What I
been
do
working
now?
on this? What have
did
you
I
been
do?
working on?
I'm sorry, boss.
No. I want you to be the one to talk about this.
About what?
About a blog post we have coming out on Monday, and I'm giving you the exclusive for all 16 of our viewers right now, of which 8 of them are probably us plus
Exclusive.
family. So really, it's only about 3 people.
True.
What's going on? What's being announced on Monday that you have been working on diligently?
Before I get there, did you actually write the blog post?
Well, we'll work on that later. Wait till the show's finished.
One thing at a time. Okay. We have a little event coming up end of March.
March 26th, 27th, 28th.
Yes. It will be 3 days of
See, you're clipping now. You can't get that excited.
sorry. Windows Server Summit goodness. 3 days powered by engineering.
Oh, I like that.
So,
Give
That's
me
a
more
nice
details.
tagline.
Tell us more.
Yeah, that's a nice tagline. I like that.
I know that's the one I suggested to the creative team with 8 PMs for one freaking PowerPoint template.
Let's not talk about contract work at Microsoft. Now, come on,
Okay.
move it along.
So, in the previous years, the Windows Server Summit was this 3-hour webinar on 24 platform, which was aimed at decision makers and visionaries and sales motions.
It wasn't targeted deep content. There was
No.
a sprinkling here and there, but the
That's right.
primary audience was decision makers at that point.
Yes. So this year we decided let's do something different. So we used Sessionize to actually open call for content to the engineering and MVP community. And we ended up with like over 60 submission. And we whittled it down to 47 session so far that are ranging from full 1 hour deep dives to 30-minute really focused technical information from engineering and 15 minutes quick hit demos. And we were hoping to get maybe 1 or 2 days for 4 to 6 hours. We end up with 3 full 7-hour days.
So it's a virtual event taking place on the 26th of March. We're going to have the full details out on Monday on a blog post at itopstalk.com. So now we're both on the hook to make sure that blog post is written later today.
It's okay. Nobody listens to this show.
I know. We're down to 15, so we'll see. Like I said, most of them are friends and family at this point in time. But anyway, it's really cool. It's a Windows Server Summit. It's talking principally about Windows Server 2025 content, but it also has some stuff that is more generic Windows Server hybrid ecosystem stuff as well. And it's going to be sprinkled across the 3 days. It's going to be very cool.
We even have a couple sessions on dealing with end of support for 2012.
Yeah.
So
the
stuff that our audience actually is going through.
The content wise been well vetted, being recorded. So it's going to be some live and the majority recorded. However, during the scheduled recording delivery of a particular session, all the engineering members of that team are going to be online and answering questions and interacting with folks during that session. So very, very cool stuff coming up. So that's been keeping you busy and me sort of busy, but mostly you. I'm going to give you credit for that.
So are you giving me credit in case it fails?
Jared, take him up.
So Windows Server Summit coming up, a virtual event around all the Windows servers run by the technical people that build the product.
Yeah, we're going to try it out. And if it catches on and people are interested in it, then maybe it becomes more of an annual thing where it's more engineering-led stuff. We'll see.
Very cool. Very, very cool. You want to give up any potential speakers or potential sessions?
Let's just say there's going to be a nice mixture of the usual suspects and a very nice smattering of new people. That was actually one of the challenges that we had when we put together the call for content. It was like We want to bring up people that have been sitting on the bench waiting to be put in. Put me in, coach. And so we need to develop new people speaking as well. And so is a nice smattering of people across the board.
Very cool.
The
Very
usual
cool.
suspects will be there, and then also some bright, shiny new faces as well.
Excellent.
And cannot confirm or deny that there will be at least one, maybe 2 sessions that will have Indy and Derby as well.
Ooh. All right.
So what have you been up to, my friend?
Speaking of blog posts, there is the impending doom. No, the impending release of Security Copilot.
Okay.
Copilot for Security.
It's just a little bit,
And as part of that, the team has been working very diligently, very hard on producing stuff to get people ready. And our good friend Rod Trent, aka Speaker 25 on the Twitters, actually he's just at Rod Trent, but he calls himself Speaker 25.
Speaker 25
has put out a blog post on how to use prompts in Copilot for Security. So basically comes down to this: like, Copilots are great. I kind of narrowed it down, like, if you suck at Google, you're not going to be great at prompting either.
If your Google foo is low.
Correct. So you want to level up your prompting stuff. So you can go to aka.ms/CFS prompting. So CFS Copilot for Security prompting. I'll drop that link in chat because I have the perms to do that.
When that post come out?
The blog is out. Blog came out.
When did it come out?
Yesterday, the 22nd.
Oh, yeah. Very nice.
So super cool on one of the main Microsoft blogs. So super cool to see that. So the team working very, very hard on a bunch of Copilot content as it moves forward.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I can talk about.
Yeah.
There are a lot of irons in the fire for some things that are coming up that people when they see them, will be very excited to see.
Mm-hmm.
We just can't talk about said things. So, just kind of getting stuff ready, working on some developer guidance around AI and security as well. That will be due out very, very shortly. So, we've got a lot of things going, making people take holidays, vacation, because they didn't, because I'm a mean manager, making people do that.
I was checking the TPS reports, and they were saying bad things about you. So
yes, we have to have the proper TPS reports. Second segment of the show. Should we talk a little bit about beer money, which is the support we do for our friends, our families, friends, sisters, uncles, cousins?
You got it. You weren't here for the last episode.
No, I was in California. And guess where I'm going to be in the next episode?
California.
Yep.
So
9/28. iPhone is disabled.
Yeah, I know. So that's something I've been
yours?
working on. I know this is an old one. This is something I've been working on since last episode. And I've been trying to go off and to reset it. The pin has been forgotten, set by some aging parents, friends. And basically it's locked and disabled now. And the user account it's associated with on iTunes is also locked. And the password is not able to be reset because it's the only device where that particular account exists. If you go through two-form factor authentication with text messages, stuff like that, there's all this extra stuff you got to do. There is a I forgot website you can go to Apple to have things reset. You can go to your own friend's device and actually log in on a website and say, no, this is for a friend to be able to do it. And then if you get things wrong, it delays you by a day, delays you by 2 days, and all sorts of fun stuff like that. Finally, I talked to the person in question, and they're like, okay, I need this, I basically have to just nuke this. I have to nuke the account and nuke the password on the account, but that will erase everything it'll basically break the encryption keys for all the stuff on iCloud and what's on the phone. Are you okay with that? And then she's like, yeah, sure, go ahead. So I start that process, and then even in the process of recovering the password or changing the password of that one account that's being used, it asks for additional information to validate you are legitimate. And so it just will pull up different things from your Apple ID to say, do you know what the secret's security code is on the credit card associated on your file? It doesn't say which credit card because there's multiple credit cards associated on the file. And so that's blocked out as well. So literally I'm at the point where, can I just like nuke everything to go ballistic on this thing? But they have to keep the account. So I have to go through it again. I think I'm now on my 7th or 8th delay that I have to wait through. And the
so what are you, 8 days now? Is that what it is? Or
I'm basically on the 8-day window, I think. So
that's crazy.
I got the final approval last night. So we shall see. We shall see if I can finally finish that stupid thing off and pass it on.
Fair enough.
That's been occupying my time. Besides, the usual stuff of moving into a new house and various different projects or projects, if you're American. So I'm renting a U-Haul truck to take the last of my stuff out of the old house and bring it over here today.
Oh, that's still not been completed?
It's one last thing because I had my floors done in the garage. And had to also work in the network wiring install and the wireless install and that sort of stuff with J-Shock and with others. We have some stuff left over inside the garage. As you know, the old garage is a 3-car garage. I'd say it's about half full. So that's like 1.5 or 1 2/3, or I don't know the math on that one. I'm not that good at math. Of stuff that's left. And so that now has to come down into the 1-car garage that we have downstairs. So be some Tetris going on.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah. Definitely. I'm trying to mute whatever channel is pinging my teams for some reason and is not muting, but that's okay. I did beer money for myself.
Oh, is that technically called beer money then?
Well, yeah, because I paid myself in beer when I finished.
Okay. I'll give you that. Proceed.
So the house was pre-wired,
with
a lot of the cats, the cat 6s and such. One such pre-wire was outside in the patio, and because the outdoor patio is now complete, I have the TV on a cart that I can pull out there and watch outdoor hockey outdoors.
Nice.
I decided that it was time to install the access point. That would be living out there. So I move all the outdoor furniture and drag the ladder out and get up there, and I pull off the protective cover to find, yes, there is a cable pulled. No, they did not install the box behind it.
No box behind?
No.
Well, that's kind of normal because it's low voltage. You don't need a box.
Well, yes, other than if you want to attach something. So literally, they just screwed the little cover into
the side of your house.
Yeah, well, the ceiling. Yes.
Did they at least
somebody forgot to finish it? Is what I think, because
did they put the right size in? Like, did they cut the hole the right size?
The hole was completely cut the right size. It's just like they forgot to put the piece in.
So you're gonna go to the depots of the home.
So I already did that.
And you got a low voltage box you can just put in.
A low voltage box with the little
arms that kind of work,
wingy thingies.
Yeah.
Is that an official word, wingy thingy?
It is actually. It's the low voltage wingy thingy.
Yeah. So I got the wingy thingy, and installed that. Then mounted the access point.
Yeah.
Fun fact. So I know you mentioned that to get the mounting, the proper metal mounting piece for Unify access point, that you needed to open up a support ticket. They've actually now added them to the Unify store.
See, I will take direct credit for that.
So you can get them, or there's Amazon seller that has them.
Oh yeah,
and they have the new ones that have the proper
larger
aluminum for the. so that you can mount them inside of the box.
So can you buy the arm that would screw into a standard 19-inch rack, comms rack, that would allow you to wire up a half switch correctly, mount a half switch correctly?
I've not seen that. I've put everything like that's that size on a shelf.
Yeah, but it's not as nice. It needs to be like on the thing.
Well, I'm sure I'm sure somebody's got a bracket.
What the hell do you search term it with? Like half bracket thingy, 19-inch? Like,
well, so probably what I would do is I would put in the model of the switch, and then I would put rack mount.
Yeah.
I
shall do some Amazon foo to find out.
Yes.
To finish that off.
You could 3D print it.
I don't have a 3D printer.
Oh, neither do I. I'm just putting that out there.
Do you know how much filament I would be going through if I had a 3D printer? I would have, those ginormous reels on the back of trucks that they use when they string like power line cable,
fiber,
and they periodically drop them along the road as they're doing a new run. That's how much I would go through probably in a couple of months, because I'd have so many deformed printed things that just break that I'd be going through that much filament. I'm sure. So.
This was claused. It's no good. It's no good. It's been claused. See, another random IT guy says 3D printer bracket. Dave and Nicole from Crush Networks, they say hello. They're in Manhattan Beach, California.
Oh, nice.
Which is different than Manhattan and the other side of the U.S.
Probably warmer. Probably warmer.
Yeah, could be. Absent Block Lutely said I've spent hours with my 3D printer the past few weeks. There's so many frustrating steps to get through, but it's worth it in the end. Okay. Yeah, I have 100%. I'm so much I'm happy that the access point is properly mounted. I actually also put the proper rubber gasket in between the access point and the box.
Oh wow!
To block out moisture. So
nice, because there's a ton of moisture in the desert.
Listen, we had rain for 3 straight days. I don't want to hear anybody talk about there's no moisture here. Moist. Absolutely printing a circular sock machine for my wife.
That just sounds weird.
What is a sock machine?
Is she a crochet person and she's crocheting socks or something? I don't know.
I don't even know. Anyway, so that was my beer money support, and when I got there, I'm like, oh, this is a 10-minute job, right? You just gotta pull the cover off, put the other one up, and I got up there, I looked, I'm like, well, now I'm going to Home Depot.
Yeah.
Which of course I ended up buying like 6 other things besides.
Get you that way. That happens.
Oh, knitter. Absolutely says she's a knitter. So there you go. Done any beer talk?
The last bit of beer money that I've done for myself is I finally now have, because I've moved up to office with a window here in the house for the work from homes.
You're out of the CO2 closet?
Out of the CO2 closet. However, I have started to build out my server rack in the CO2 closet. So I now have my Synology and also a 2019 hypervisor box currently fired up in the CO2 closet. So I can now turn off the heater in that closet and just use the ambient heat from those machines.
Yeah.
And that
there's
works.
Still no oxygen there, though.
No, they don't need oxygen. They actually work better without oxygen, right?
Okay. So, all right. Fair enough.
As long as we keep the ambient temperature down, we should be good. And I'm contemplating actually getting a real like 12U or 15U, 25 or 35-inch deep server rack for down there inside the closet.
What other servers are you going to put in there?
I've got access to a data on storage device from
# we're not sponsored, but you are.
But we would really like to be. So there's an Azure Stack HCI box down inside the Microsoft Labs, one of the many Microsoft Labs, and I don't know if you remember, Building 25 has the Channel 9 studios. You're very familiar with where those are, right? Well, down the hallway from there's the super secret squirrel server room closet that you and I used to use for the original Patch and Switch shows ages ago with the little tower panel. Well, they remodeled that into like some kind of frou-frou office for somebody or something.
Wait, what did they do with all the power panels?
I have no idea. But anyway, so they actually have something in that space. But the next space, which really was like a server room, miniature lab server room, 1454, I think it was. Anyway, that room there, I got notified I lost access to it. My badge was removed over the holidays. And I'm like, what's going on? So I email facilities and they're like, yeah, we're in the middle of decommissioning that room. I'm like, what? So apparently I haven't been in yet, but since that's been decommissioned, they've gutted that room. So all the servers.
So where's your device that was sitting in there?
I need to figure that out. It's still responding to network pings and RDP connections.
But you don't know where it physically was moved to?
No. So the person that was in charge of that particular move is coming back next week. So I might need to have an emergency extraction of a device. The good thing is, it is policy that you have to put your alias on the equipment so that if the equipment magically gets moved somewhere, they have a chain of contact that they can go off and reach out to. So, yeah, that's on my project list to do.
So they have a chain of contact, but you do not have a chain of custody for said device.
Well, 9/10 of the law is possession. So, but the fact that it still responds.
Only you could lose a server.
Not two servers, not one, two. 2 1U servers. But they're still responding. They're still there somewhere. So
they're gonna replace the little cartons of milk in the cafeteria there. Have you seen this server?
Yeah. So I might
next time Rick goes in and they finally locate him, he's gonna tape air tags to them.
So the moral of the story is basically when a particular individual offers you free lab space to use inside the Microsoft ecosystem, just make sure you got all the stuff figured out as part of that lab space, because the lab owner was notified and worked everything out. They just completely forgot that there was some other equipment in there. So yeah. That's part of my fun time.
The land of the lost server.
Tune in next episode.
Beer talk.
Beer talk, my friend. Ghostfish Brewing.
Ghostfish.
Yes.
I've had something from them. What did I have from them?
Ghostfish Brewing. And I completely forget if I talked about this last week. So if you join, or the other week. Ghostfish Brewing is a brewery in the west side of Seattle that is a gluten-free brewery.
That is why. So they actually ship it to Washington, D.C.
Yep.
And that's where I've had it.
It's good. It's in my local Safeway just down the street. They use different styles of grains that are gluten-free by nature, not by some chemical process. It is owned by a couple of people that have celiac disease. And so they're very, very sensitive to gluten of all kinds. And their claim to fame is that there's not a wisp of gluten that has ever entered the building.
Wisp.
I don't know how someone secretly brings in a little sandwich bag of wheat. They're having something to eat in the brewery or something like that. And then they reach inside their pocket and they just eat some grains.
Somebody brings in a piece of
sir, you
bread.
have to leave. Our gluten sensors just went off.
Your bologna sandwich made on Wonder Bread, and all of a sudden, 2319.
So in case you don't know, my son has a gluten sensitivity going on. very much so. And so he was very excited because I was using the said gluten-free beer to make a chili. And he actually asked me to save him one in the fridge so he could try it.
Oh,
so
there is hope for him after all. That won't
slightly.
just be truly all day, all night.
It's a very fruity IPA. So it's a bit harsh for his taste buds.
Yeah.
He's more of a White Claw basic person.
Pretty much, yeah.
So
Basic bitch.
yeah. So
Um,
that's been my beer talk.
I have been.
I'm moving the brewery from the old house to this house somehow. So
Oh, very good. Final stages. Get the brewery over, and then get it activated.
yeah.
So I have been on a hunt for a standard variety pale ale. Here, so
Standard variety.
well, versus an IPA. So instead of an imperial, just a normal American pale. As you know, like a similar to a Mayonnaise. Yeah. And so I've found 4 different Las Vegas breweries that have them and have had over the last 2 days been trying them. So yesterday I had Tenaya, Tenaya, which is a street. It's one of the big streets that runs through here. Tenaya Brewing, they have it was very nice. I really enjoyed that. Today's sampling will be from Sin City Brewing.
Mm-hmm.
Sin City Brewing. So we'll be trying that today. So that's been kind of my hunt. I do love that there is Total Wine all over the valley. So and each Total Wine, I believe they are using different buyers for various beers. I'm trying to convince my buyer to please bring 10 barrel.
Oh yeah.
To Las Vegas. If not, I may have to book you a flight, and you're just going to have to carry multiple 12 packs of 10 barrel.
I'll spring a pony cake, man.
Yeah.
We could, if it's a little warmer, we could make a vlog about this of Rick driving multiple ponies of Washington beer and Oregon beer on the back of the KTM motorcycle down to Las Vegas.
Because nothing bad could possibly happen with that. When I saw the video of you with just camping gear on the back,
Are you allowed to bring alcohol across state lines?
Yeah, as long as it's not
yes, certain states.
As long as it's not for sale. And if you think that Las Vegas and Nevada has rules, no.
We might have to recreate Smokey and the Bandit. The hat, the Jayhawk.
The Jayhawk.
Eastbound and down, baby.
The Jayhawk could house a lot of 10 barrel brewing.
Yeah,
it could. I could also pull a trailer of them.
I don't understand. Why am I still getting notifications when I muted notifications on that channel?
Because Teams really feels like you need to be notified about everything.
Apparently so.
It is such the wonderful application.
Oh, that's okay.
Desktop and mobile.
So the other thing, I was on a big winter ale kick for a few weeks here,
season, right?
Around the Christmas season and stuff. And there were some great ones here. Unfortunately, most of them came from Colorado. Well, I shouldn't say unfortunately. A lot of them came from Colorado, so we had some really good ones. One was very spicy. It had kind of a little spicy kick to it. The holiday spiciness, right? That you would get.
Like a gingerbread or like
it kind of had a kick to it. I don't know. It was really good. It was, I think, Santa Claus something or other, and I could actually find it because I actually have a photo of it on the phone.
Okay.
And just in case anybody is concerned, there are only 44 Mondays until Christmas.
Nice.
Just in case.
How about random spending? Have you random spent?
It's a new house. It's a new house. How can I not random spend?
It's a new house. How can you not?